It's Hall of Heroes time again, guys, and guess what we have for Hall of Heroes this month? I have no idea why I'm saying that because it's literally on the screen right now. ASTAR the Fire Magic Knight. So for most of you guys, very excited that the Fire Magic Knight is Hall of Heroes. So what the reason that everyone's excited, or if you're not excited, you should be excited because she's a fantastic unit that combos with the Triple Hikaru very, very well. It's all based on her skill 1 and her passive. So she's a very meta relevant unit for dungeons farming, and the people that don't have her, very excited to actually get her. The people that already have her, maybe like my Europe server account over here, do not have her fully skilled up. Maybe they put some skill ups into the water one, or the light one, or the dark one, or the wind one, or whatever, and now that she's a meta relevant unit for dungeons, they're like, I don't have any skill ups for her, so I'm just going to use her without skills, right? So this is the situation that I'm on for the Europe. Let's take a look at the time that is actually available. We know it's on the weekend. Also, depending on if you have her fully skilled up or not, or what the skill situation for you specifically, this may be something that you want to do the almighty summoning pieces for, which I'll explain in a second. But it's always on the weekend, so I don't know why I ever take a look at like, what? I wonder when the time that the Hall of Heroes is open. It's always on the weekend anyway. So let's take a look at the unit. This is how we have her. So this is on the Europe server account. This is how we have her built for Necropolis. So a lot of people do in her Rage if they use her in Dragons, and Vampire if they're using her in Necropolis, right? And always you can always, like, if you want to use her for both, for example, you can always do like, okay, I'm going to farm Necropolis for 2 weeks, have her on Vampire, then after the 2 weeks, switch her over to Rage. This way you don't have to switch it over like, I want to farm Necropolis for an hour, I want to farm Dragons for like, no, you just do, well, more people using her in Necropolis than in Dragons. She is still usable in a very fast, aggressive Dragons team for kind of more along the end game side. So probably a lot of people are going to have struggles with using her in Dragons, but she's a great unit for, definitely for Necropolis. So I'd recommend, attack or damage attack for, I bet we could grind this actually, because we've been doing raids. So I bet we can actually grind this pretty decently. But that is her for Necropolis. So she's good based on her skill 1, which is AoE, right? AoE, and her skill 3 passive, attack speed increases as your HP gets lower. You'll deal 100% more damage if the enemy has more HP than you. That's really what she's good for, is she does 100% more damage, and she's got an AoE skill 1. So we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg with the damage, because that last skill up is 15% extra damage by itself. That's a pretty decent amount of damage for one skill up. The water sniper actually has a much... Actually, we could see his skill up for skill 3, 25% damage. A little crazier there, but still, the Fire Magic Knight is a really powerful skill for that extra 15%. So she's a fantastic unit for Necropolis B12, based on how we have her runed over here. She does multi-hits, she does AoE, and every time the Inugamis team up with her, they're going to do a big AoE damage dealing skill. So I think we have, yep, this is all... We showed everything on her. Let's take her in for some test runs. And again, this is not even fully skilled, right? So it's going to do a decent amount more damage. Also, for the almighty summoning pieces, I know I said I was going to tell you guys about the almighty summoning pieces. If you have any, like, if you want to get extra of her, not just the 5 that you're going to get from doing the dungeon, right? Like, you're every 2 floors you're able to summon one of her. So if you want to do that, if you want to get more of her, you can go to Guild Shop. You can get 25 almighty summoning pieces from here. We'll just get more anyway, because why not? And then every floor, what the strategy is like every floor, you do a floor, and then you have 25 pieces of that unit from the Hall of Heroes, and then you use 25 almighty summoning pieces. Let's see if we can do one for like a previous Hall of Heroes or whatever. Use 25 just like this, like if he was, I don't know if he's a previous Hall of Heroes or whatever, but you use 25 pieces of the unit from doing the first floor. You have to do it 1 floor at a time if you're going to do this, and you have to have an abundance of almighty summoning pieces from the Guild Shop if you want to make the most use out of that. That's just if you want 5 extra ones, right? And you do use a lot of guild points doing that, but that is an option there. So we can actually go take a look. Let's go take a look. Stop talking and let's go take a look at how she works in Necropolis. So I know a lot of you are already familiar with this team, but for those of you that aren't, this is a triple Inugami with the ASTAR Fire Magic Knight for Necropolis. You don't necessarily need this. I like to use this in here, but you don't actually necessarily need this. One of the pros to having only 4 units in a in the triple Karu team in a dungeon is that anytime he uses a skill 2, it will team up with 3 other units, and there's only 3 units to pull from, so it guarantees that he pulls those specific 3 units. If you throw a 5th unit in here, and this is more impactful in Dragons, where you need to keep teaming up with Vertiheal over and over and over and over again to keep increasing your turn cycling over and more and more and more. So it's definitely more impactful in Dragons, because some people try to use a 5th unit. They're like, this is going to be definitely better using a 5th unit. And it's like, it changes the mechanics when you do the 5th unit, right? So they're not always teaming up with each other. So this is actually, I do like to run it with the Fire Inugami too. But with just the Water Inugamis, we'll try it both ways. We'll do it with this, and we'll do it with the Fire Inugami. Also, a lot of people, because I know you guys are gonna say this, a lot of people like to do this with the Lucian too. So keep that in mind as a 5th unit. I don't think we have the Lucian. I don't think we have the Lucian speed tuned specifically for this though, because otherwise we'd be probably running him in here. Don't we have 2 Lucians? I don't know what the Lucian situation is. Maybe we'll stick a Lucian in there. I'll show you guys a little bit of a basic sample of the Lucian in here. But it's nice because if you do some fluff damage before Lucian gets a turn, like if they team up with the ASTAR and then Lucian takes a turn after that, he's more likely to do amputation magic. If the enemy is like halfway down on HP, he's gonna be like, oh, amputation magic? Yes, I will do that. So here we go. We see that's where those skill ups are going to be super massive, super important, right? Wait, see, that's a big thing. Like, look at that. We didn't kill the first time. We didn't kill the second time. Like, he was so close to dying, but we didn't get that. We didn't get those kills. So skill ups are important. That's why this dungeon's so great, because this is actually going to make this team more consistently fast, right? If we're just a little bit shy of the damage we need. So this is 1 minute 14 seconds. Let's try it with the fire one. And again, I don't know what the Lucians. We have 2 Lucians on here. Let's see if we maybe we'll test it out. We'll maybe test it out. There must have been a reason that I didn't already do this though. But this is Lucian is very popular in here for the very fastest runs. You know, I really do want to actually stick the Lucian in here today. We'll see if we can figure out what the Lucian situation is. But yeah, if they do a little fluff damage, and then Lucian comes in, he'll be like, oh, amputation magic now, and he'll amputation magic, and then they'll clear the waves faster, right? So that's the situation with there. But yeah, it's really nice. It's really important to have those extra damage skill ups, as we've seen. For we almost killed the boss, we almost killed the boss again, and then if we don't kill the boss and he gets a turn, he steals things, that's extra animation cycles that go through that we don't necessarily need those animations to go through, so be much better if we just killed him the first time without having him take turns. So we see that this is going to be faster, right? Right, 54. I mean, it's pretty significantly faster, right? So that's why I was doing with that. Let me actually. I really want to see. I'm gonna see real fast if we can stick the Lucian in there and make it work. So let's see if this is speed tuned correctly. So here's what should happen. What if the Inugamis moves first? He hopefully teams up with ASTAR and does a little fluff damage or whatever, does a little fluff damage. Then Lucian comes in second and amputation magic finish off the wave. And then the other stuff will move after that, but we'll see. We'll see if this is speed tuned correctly. But this is a team that people already liked, so that's perfect. That's what was supposed to happen. This is a team people already like to use. I do not use this on here. It's got its pros and its cons. Sometimes it'll have faster speeds. Sometimes it won't be as fast. Sometimes the AI will do one thing, will do another thing. But yeah, there we go. And then we have one of those. Solution takes some damage, but that's the reason that the ASTAR is on Vampire, so that when she does her big damage, she heals. Right? She doesn't just do crazy amounts of damage. It's not my idea to put her on Vampire. It's just what people are already doing. So Lucian's dead, which is actually a good thing here that Lucian's dead, because then they team up with ASTAR all the time. So she used skill 3. It would have been much better if she used skill 2. Sorry, skill 1, but I guess it's fine either way. So we've got some defense breaks, and then we'll boom boom. And it's not as fast as it could be, actually. But again, it's 59 seconds. But hopefully you guys get kind of the idea, like the rough idea of the whole Lucian strategy in there. But like I said, I just had been using ASTAR and a bunch of Inugamis. And that's just worked fine for me. Anyway, the whole point of this is just to say, like, yes, ASTAR is a meta-relevant unit for dungeons, namely Necropolis, but I also know some people that are using her in Dragons. However, it is very endgame. You have to have really good runes to make that work consistently. So just heads up on that. Don't be like, I'm mid-game and I'm going to make ASTAR work in Dragons. Like, it is more of a just burst it down with a whole lot of damage very fast team. It's not really a barely squeaking by with the rune quality and gonna make it work, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are excited about the Fire Magic Knight. I'm excited to actually skill her up on this account. It's gonna be really, really nice. So anyway, like I said, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you as always in the next one.